Okay, so I'm gonna be blogging today. So I'd like to give you guys some heads up on where I'm at right now. I'm in Montreal, Canada. It's very, very cold, and the weather is very snowy. So let's head out to the park and have a conversation. Today's not gonna be your typical type of video where I'm gonna talk about credit stuff or any type of related information like that. I want to get more personal with you guys. So I want to talk about a couple of things that may be holding you back, give you some advice, my life advice, I believe. If it helps you, hey, it helps you. If it doesn't, well, that's okay, next time. So let's go ahead and let's get straight to the park. So let's continue our conversation there. So as you can tell, it's very, very cold out here. But it's a beautiful landscape, right? Like you see all this type of snow, and it's gonna be quite an interesting walk. Might be a pretty long video as well, but who cares, right? Again, it's about value. It's about giving you guys the information that you need in order to consistently understand the importance of building wealth and making sure that you're on the right path when it comes to making sure everything else along your wealth, when it comes to your personal credit, your finances, and all the great stuff is in line with your vision. So let's talk about vision. I want to talk about vision today. I don't know if you guys can see me clearly. I'm not sure. Well, anyways, today's vision and the objective of talking about vision is, what did you have in mind when you first started your credit repair journey? See, a lot of you guys, it's just for the sake of funding. But I don't think funding is enough. You need more than that. You need to have an idea that's long-term. You need to have some sort of, alignment with your interests. A lot of people do things that are uncomfortable to them. Some things could be such as trying to figure out a fast way of getting funding because you're going to miss a deal, or you want to buy something and it's on sale, but you're not able to get it because you don't have enough credit. So you want to try to fix your credit to get the funding ASAP so you can get that item. I think that part of this conversation really is to move away from materialism. And the reason I say that is because materialism causes a lot of problems in one's life. It's great. You want all the good stuff. You want all the great things. Nobody says it's bad to have good things. But at the same time, all these type of things that you want to get, it has to make sense to you. Is it something that you absolutely need? Can you wait? And can you not survive without it? Or is it something that you're gonna, you can't breathe and you absolutely need it today, right? Some examples of materialism can be, for example, getting a car right away. You have a used car, you're not too happy with it, you don't like the way it looks, it makes weird noises, your conditioning broken. But the type of things that you guys are going after on a materialistic level, I want you to ask yourself the question, is it producing income for you? Is it producing income for you? Is it something that is going to transform your life for the better? It may sound corny, okay? See, a lot of things that I say, people think it's corny, but I don't care if it's corny. It's the reality. And my whole purpose behind this channel, the reason why I started all this for you guys, well, obviously I wanted to document my journey. I wanted to give you the best financial education possible when it comes to personal credit. But some of the advice that I give is highly practical. Some of you guys might not like it. But you see, that's the thing with credit. It doesn't have to be pleasant. And most importantly, it definitely doesn't have to satisfy anybody. So corny or not, it's a critical part of making sure that you guys are okay and you're well off. So, going back to materialism, is it something that you absolutely need? Is it something that you can survive without? And if so, think about surviving without, because it only makes your life easier long term. So going back to that, we talked about materialism, we talked about holding back, and asking yourself if it's really something you need. Now, the objective of understanding alignment with your vision all starts with a calculation in your head, and that calculation should be, the shortest period of time that it'll take for you to realize on how to restructure your mindset around things that are harmful to you. See, a lot of people think the calculation is about building wealth, putting some numbers in and buying the right stocks. And that's not the case. I want you guys to really think about the things that you have to do when it comes to alignment. And alignment requires you to kind of align your mindset first, because that's where it all starts. If you can't align your mindset first, then there's no point. What's the next steps that you're going to take when it comes to making sure that you're financially well off? So let's continue on conversation on what goes next after alignment. So we talked about alignment, making sure that your mindset is shifted to the point where the fastest ways of letting go of things that are potentially hurtful to you. And that's a critical part of growth when it comes to ensuring that you're building wealth long term. But is it the only thing that you have to think about? Well, no, technically not. Materialism is a very dangerous thing. We know that. Ensuring that you align your mindset to the right frame in terms of letting go of the things that are harmful to you. That's a good checklist that we have to complete. But what's next? What are some of the next steps that we need to take to make sure that all these type of things that we just discussed make sense for us? So, my journey started back in 2007. Most of you guys don't know my backstory, so I want to be able to give it to you in this one. So my journey started back in 2007 when the housing crisis were about to hit. I was doing quite a lot of transactions with mortgage companies, restructuring, putting together a list of clients, buying those lists, talking to them, upselling mortgage products and all these type of things. And then the crash happened. We had to do a lot of loan modification, but that forced me to learn in credit. And I was adaptable, I adapted to the marketplace. I was malleable to needed to learn whatever was necessary for me to be successful. But that didn't change. I got understanding of investment banking. And what that is basically is putting together deals for businesses, whether it be real estate, whether it be for companies, and knowing how to put structures together to get the deal done, including raising capital from investors, including ensuring that the deal structure is proper, negotiating the terms of the agreement, making sure that there's alignment of investors to the business that they're going to be writing checks for. So everything in life has to do with alignment. It's not just about personal credit. And another big thing about this is to make sure that, the type of alignment that you have when it comes to your business or even your personal level corresponds with a future version of yourself. So that's our next topic, understanding the future version of yourself. So what does that mean, understanding future version of yourself? Where do we begin? How do we even comprehend that? See, future version of yourself, it all starts with how you look at yourself in the mirror every day and how you see yourself 5 years down the road. People say a year down the road. People say 2 years down the road. The goal is to always aim high. They always say, if you shoot for the moon, you can land on the stars, and that's great. I don't say shoot for the moon. I say go for another galaxy. You know why? Because you'll never understand what limits you have until you push those limits. You'll never understand your full potential until you put it to the test. You'll never understand your capabilities until you stress test that. Making sure that you're able to kind of handle everything that's on your shoulders. Now, I'm not saying put yourself through a lot of stress in your life, but being the future version of yourself requires a certain level of sacrifice. We talked about alignment of mindset, letting go of all the bad things that are harmful to your mindset and your ability to create wealth. But a big part of that is understanding self-image. Self-image is so critical. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you look at yourself today and you were to ask yourself on a third person perspective, you take yourself out of that image and you position yourself in front of you, and that person who's a future version of you were to look at you, what do they see? Do they see success, potential? Do they see laziness? Do they see missed opportunities? Do they see, a person who's not really paying attention to everything in their life? All these type of things is critical. If you don't pay attention to that, what's going to happen down the road? You're going to have all regrets throughout the entire life. You're going to live your entire life with regrets. And I don't want you guys to live like that. So, I know it's a very different topic that we're having a conversation on. But at the end of the day, what's life about, right? I can teach you guys thousands of things about credit. But if you don't take those things seriously, nothing will change. Nothing will transpire. Nothing will give you, that angle to move yourself forward on the right mindset. So on my ultimate personal credit mastery, the 2.0, the course that I did for people who are watching my channel and those who are outside of that, who are looking to transform their life, take their credit knowledge to the next level, I do a lot of mindset training in that course. And people may think, well, it's a credit course. Why do you have to do mindset training? The course was not designed to help you just with credit. It was designed to help you build your wealth. And the fundamental concept of building wealth starts with your mind. It starts with your self-image. I'll help you build that confidence in the course. I give you that depth of knowledge that's necessary to make the right type of sacrifices, to be able to calculate whether that sacrifice is going to be worth it for you. And if you're not open to taking that measure, and if you're not open to understanding the consequences behind that, it's not going to help you. So that's why I did that. So outside of mindset training, there's a lot of other things that we should always think about. When it comes to the course, my biggest objective is to make sure that you guys are, doing everything that's necessary in your power to be able to build substantial wealth. Outside of the sacrifices, it's just so critical to look at things on a more elevated perspective. I can't emphasize enough on this. You guys might be listening to all the other channels out there that are teaching you shortcuts and tips and convincing you to spend thousands of dollars without realizing the value that you're getting. My thing is, if you spend money, make sure you have some sort of education that comes with it, right? If you spend big dollars, make sure that you have the confidence of earning that back if you were to lose it. So never spend money that you can't afford to lose, because that's not discipline, right? That's not discipline. That's just being careless. And I don't want you guys to be careless. So with all these type of things said and done, I think the biggest thing that I want to leave you guys off with in this particular wonderful snowy day is that you always have to think long term. Like I said, my stuff may sound corny, but I'm not here to make you feel good. I want to guide you. That's why I call myself your guide and mentor. I want to guide you to give you direction on the type of things that you need to pay attention to. I want to guide you so that whatever you do in your life, there's meaning behind it. Now, I may not always be there with you. That's not my goal, is to be always there with you to answer your phone calls. I'm not a personal maid, but I'm going to be here with my videos. I got a free Facebook group that I just posted the other day. It's in the description, and the link is in the description of the video. Go for it and check it out and join me on the other side, because you're going to see some results from existing clients. You're going to see some different level of video, unfiltered stuff. And I think that you can benefit from that. But outside of that, keep in mind what I just shared with you in this video, right? Let go of all the materialism. Let go of the materialism. It's going to hurt you. It's not going to do you any good. Think about the type of things that you have to do for you and your family. You want to be a good father or mother to them. That means that you have to make certain sacrifices that are uncomfortable. But you know what? The challenge there is being able to be a good parent requires you to make those sacrifices. And if you do make that sacrifice, well, guess what? It's kudos to you, a long-term benefit for you, a lifelong benefit for you. What's wrong with that? And more importantly, change your mind around things that are hurting you. Change that mindset. I was guilty of this. I enjoyed the flamboyant lifestyle back in the days. I used to go out. I used to, enjoy going to parties. I used to go ahead and hang out with friends. And that's not a bad thing. You don't just let go of the circle you had. But there's a level of evolution that needs to happen in your lifestyle. And this is the time to grow. A lot of people made New Year's resolution. How many of you guys actually stuck around to it? Now, most of you who have, congratulations on that. And keep going and don't stop. But those who just started those New Year's resolutions because they felt this was the time and they thought they were going to have a better version of themselves this year, gave up on those resolutions. They're going to wait till next year. They procrastinated their dreams. The problem with that is we only have one life, which means that procrastinating or not, life is not going to wait for you. We all got a reservation at the end of the day, and that's the end of our lifeline. So think about all these type of things, okay? I talked about my story, how I began, why I need to be adaptable. What are some of the things that I needed to do right away to be a better version of myself? Self-image, critical, absolutely critical. You wake up in the morning, you got to see your future self. Sometimes I can't even get up from bed, I become so lazy. But I think about this YouTube community, I think about the businesses that I have, the wonderful people in my life. I get up, I see a better version of myself 5 years down the road. That version of me is standing above me, waking me up when it comes to making sure that you have the absolute best version of yourself. There's a lot of things that you have to do, but it all starts with that. Those are the critical parts. Okay, so I know it's a very different video. We didn't talk about credit today. We didn't talk about wealth. But we talked about the shift in mindset required, the sacrifices needed to be made in order to reach that lifestyle. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn that bell icon on. So every time there's a video that's meaningful and something that you can use, you'll be first to be notified. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I know it's very different. Leave some comments below on some of the thoughts that you feel you'd like to share about what I just explained to you guys today. I want to have a discussion with you guys. And beyond that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.